Well, good morning, everybody. Woo. The place is buzzing. Welcome, everybody online joining us today. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, everybody. Happy Sunday. So happy to have you joining us. I extend a warm welcome. I'm Kathleen Frankert. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the center, and I do greet you this morning with Namaste. Namaste is Sanskrit, and it means the divinity in me recognizes and greets the divinity in you. And we've got people still kind of filtering in, so as that's happening, I'll give you a few headlines for our service today. First of all, I just want to mention that our beloved Reverend Teresa Fieberts, the spiritual director and founding minister of our church, continues on her sabbatical. So we wish her a great rest and time away. And we know that that renewal is going wonderfully for her. And also that her beloved husband, Bobby, who took a spill a few weeks ago, is still progressing with his healing process. So we're so grateful for that, and just ask that you continue to hold him in your thoughtful, prayerful consciousness for that continuing healing for him. So right now, or this past week rather, we our international centers for spiritual living, and it is international. We have centers all over the world, more than 400 of them, and we have an every other year summer retreat, which was happening this past week. We have a couple of members there, Jerry Bateman from our Board of Trustees, and Hector Munoz, who's been a founding member and former Board of Trustee, and just all around amazing volunteer for our center. So they have been there representing our center for the presentation. Yes, thank you. But they were there. One of the reasons that they were attending was to accept, on behalf of our center, the Community of the Year Award of all of the centers. That's right. Chills, just even saying those words. And that recognition came because of the remarkable response of this community to the heartbreaking hurricanes that we sustained last September and October. And a band of people in this community became united in the purpose of restoring our community. Members of our community who had trees down and all kinds of things that had happened on their property that they needed help with. These people became very skilled at chainsaws and regular saws and bundling, wood and, debris, and just doing a marvelous job. There was also, I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but there was also a remarkable outpouring from Centers for Spiritual Living around the country who sent us contributions of more than $20,000 to empower us to do that work in our community and for our community. This was an amazing thing, and the fact that it brought this kind of spotlight and this kind of recognition to our community is truly special. So thank you to all those volunteers. Thank you to the Centers for Spiritual Living International for your support, your financial support of that mission. And congratulations, Center. You did it. You are amazing. So congratulations. Again, welcome. If you are a first-time visitor, we're so happy that you're here today. Hopefully you met one of our greeters on the way in. We have a gift for you. So if you didn't pick that up on the way in, please stop and visit with one of those greeters on the way out to receive your gift. And just know that you are a gift to us by being with us today. And thank you so much, and we hope to see you again. So today we are continuing to look at this idea of love. and how does love show up, and what does the love of the divine mean, and all those kinds of themes throughout this month of August, throughout the Centers for Spiritual Living International. So for today, we have a wonderful guest speaker, someone a beloved member of our community and the associate minister for our center, Reverend Emile Gauvreau, who is, the multi-talented, I should have said, because look, he's also on guitar with our singing, with our Joyful Noise group this morning, so he's going to be back and forth, but we look forward to his talk, which is entitled, What Would Love Do? So something to think about and contemplate as he presents that message. So we look forward to that, Reverend Emile. So to get things started, we have our beloved musician for the day, Phil Lieber. So Phil, take it away.
This first song may not sound like a love song, but it is about loving yourself where you are and not worrying about this fast-moving train that we're on and how incredible that may seem, that we just are like hamsters on a wheel. Just enjoy the ride, and that's what this is about. Don't wish we were somewhere else. Don't wish we could go back. Just enjoy it and go forward always.
I'm not colorblind. I know the world is black and white. Try to keep an open mind, but just can't sleep on this tonight. Stop this train. I want to get off and go home again. Can't take the speed it's moving in. No, I can't. Honestly, won't someone stop this train? Don't know how else to say it. Didn't want to see my parents go. One generation's length away, fighting life out on my own. Stop this train. I want to get off and go home again. Can't take the speed it's moving in. I know I can, but honestly, won't someone stop this train? Not sure about getting older. Seems I was only good at being young. So I try to look ahead and find a way to say that life has just begun. Had a talk with my old man, said he'd help me understand. He said, turn 68, you renegotiate. Don't stop this train. Don't for a minute change the place you're in. Don't think I couldn't ever understand. I tried my hand, son, honestly, we'll never stop this train. Once in a while, when it's good and it feels like it should, just relax and enjoy each day of the ride. Don't stop this train. Don't for a minute change the place you're in. Don't think I couldn't ever understand. I tried my hand, son, honestly, we'll never stop this this train. And now I know we'll never stop this train.
Before our reading, I just wanted to come back up and apologize for forgetting one important part of that announcement about our center getting the award is that there's a beautiful, beautiful video that talks about what this award is and what we did to receive it. It was produced by Ron Frost in our community, features Reverend Teresa, many videos and photos of folks that were involved in this effort. It's on our YouTube page and on our Facebook page, so please check that out when you have the opportunity. And now Laurel Rund will present our reading for today. Laurel.
Good. Let me see. You're taller than me. Good morning, everybody. As someone wrote, if love had a color, it would be all of them fused into one radiant light. This morning, I would like to share a poem that I wrote. It was inspired by a small abstract painting. I forgot to bring it with me. Don't be scared of me. That I created in a local class, and it began as an oil pouring. Fluid, unpredictable, mysterious. You could see, very mysterious. For a while, it simply hung in my office, quietly present. But one day, the piece called to me and a message swirled forth. I am an abstract by design. So I created those words and that swirl, and around it, it says, fearful, powerful, grieving, courageous, detached, connected, aging, inspiring. It's not either or, it's the truth that lives in both. Because we are layered beings shaped by contrasts, where fear and strength coexist. Grief walks with courage. Detachment transforms into connection. And the wisdom of aging gives rise to inspiration. Within the paradox of who we are lives a sacred wholeness, a divine coherence pulsing through the unknown. That essence is love. Love isn't always soft. It can be fierce, radiant, unexpected. It is what holds us when we rise, and what remains when all else fails, fades. Love is a symphony, a full spectrum of color and sound, a sacred mosaic made of the moment we've lived. Each truth we've embraced, each shape we've become. My poem came from the knowing that even when not fully seen, we are meaningful, ever-evolving, and sacred beings. So, as I read Abstract by Design, I invite you to listen with your heart and remember, love lies within you. It is your very essence. As Maya Angelou said, we are, each of us, a brilliant thread in the divine tapestry of creation. I am an abstract by design. I've walked this world in silence deep, through flames and flowers, dreams and sleep. Each life a page a prayer, lit by the stars and midnight air. I've been the healer and the guide, the mourner with no tears to hide, the artist painting pain with light, and sorrow melted into night. I am an abstract by design, woven from sorrow, song, and time. Each thread a truth that shaped my soul, each step a part that makes me whole. I carry shapes from worlds unknown, in colors I have always known, with lines of love and curves of grace. I move through time, I find my place. When shadows veiled my inner light, my courage rose and faced the night. I've drifted far in noise and storm, but still my spirit holds its form. I am the ache, and I am the flame, the whispered loss, the fearless name, held in love's unfolding art, a paradox with a resilient heart. Time has not dimmed me, because I know that within I am an abstract by design, a canvas touched by the divine. My colors move, they shape my soul, unfolding stories yet untold.
After Laurel wrote that poem, we decided, in keeping with our desire to start doing some more collaborating on music, that I'd come up with a song that took her poem and brought it to life. So here is Abstract by Design.
This world in silence deep, through flames and flowers, dreams and sleep. Each life a page, each page a prayer, lit by stars and midnight air. I've been the healer and the guide, the mourner with no tears to hide, the artist drawing pain with light, and sorrow melted into night. I am an abstract by design, woven from sorrow, song, and time. Each thread a truth that shapes my soul, each step a part that makes me whole. I carry shapes I've come to own, the colors I have always known, with lines of love and curves of grace. I move through time, I find my place. Shadows try to dim my view, I've turned my face towards what is true. The light within began to rise, a sparkling sun in stormy skies. I am an abstract by design, a canvas touched by the divine. My colors move, they shape my soul, each step apart that makes me whole. My light was born from scarlet skies, glow that never fades or dies. We're stardust forged in light and flame, a portrait none can quite explain. I am an abstract made divine, life of purpose by design. Fruits and shadows, wings in light, a love that lifts me into flight. I am an abstract by design, a canvas touched by the divine. My colors move, they shape my soul, each step apart makes me whole.
Thank you.
All right. Feel like chief cook and bottle washer this morning. But it's fun. Actually, on that first song, Phil said, just play. Just don't stop. Just don't stop. What a thing to tell a bass player. So, yeah, the Community of the Year Award, that's a big deal. You know, we are an international organization, over 450 centers all around the world, including places like Ukraine and South Africa. So it's just not a little thing that happened here. And it's all because we're a community. We're talking about love. If any of you have been looking at the Science Mind magazine and the daily inspirations, I could have just stood up here and read what has been written through the first 10 days. Lisa's nodding her head, yeah. Just a lot of good stuff. Now, I know, I learned this from a speaker. He stood up and he said, I know this is going to be a great talk. And he says, the reason I know this is a great talk is because you're a great audience. And I know in this particular audience, we've got a little feedback going, Jacob. In this particular audience, you all want to hear a good talk. You all want to be inspired. You want to leave here with something that said, I never thought of that before. So let's see if we can't just get there. Now, I'm going to tilt this so I can see it better. There we go. We're going to talk about various types of love. We're going to talk about self-love and self-compassion. And we're going to talk about answering the question, what would love do? Now, part of the inspiration for this talk, besides the topic and all the good stuff that's out around love, is last Sunday, Jan and I were in Dallas, Texas. And we went to a United Methodist church. And we went to the contemporary service. And it's one of the first times I've heard in a Christian church where they really talked about what was actually said in the Bible from the point of view of how to use it. And so that inspired me, because he was saying, learn about love and then go take action. So I'm stealing that from him. And I'm stealing also, this is the Aramaic translation of the Bible. I mean, this is translated from the Aramaic. I'm not reading it in Aramaic. Not that good. And this is a quote that I saw early on, and when I read it, my friend Diana, I think she told me this morning she's read the Bible 14 times. I think I've been through the New Testament at least 8 times. And each time I got to this part, I thought, why are all these people worrying about the other commandments? This is where the Pharisees are questioning Jesus, trying to see if he knows what he's talking about, if he's the real guy or whatever. And the questioner says, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" And he's referring to the Hebrew law that, since they're all Jews at that point. Jesus said to him, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might and with all your mind. And the second is like to it," he says. "Love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments hang the law and the prophets." Well, if you think about it, if you do those 2 things, you don't need the 10 commandments. You would really almost need law. And the thing that struck me, it says, love your neighbor as yourself. So if everyone is our neighbor and everyone is out there, how would you love them if you're loving them as yourself? So the Greeks had, depending on which source you look at, I looked at one that said 4, one that said 7, one said 6, one said 9. I think I picked 8. So the first one they talk about is called, and Greeks in the room, forgive me, I think it's storge, and it's unconditional family love, the love we have for our children, our parents. With all the stuff we have, there's somewhere in there is usually some amount of unconditional love because they're our family. Philia, which is a love among friends. I see a lot of that every Sunday when I come here. Let's see. I guess I'm going to have to look over the top. Agape, which is unconditional love for others. Practice of that might be just wherever you go, saying, how can I love that individual? Or people you see on TV or in the news or whatever. Where can I find love for whatever that person is doing or whoever that person is, beyond the emotional or whatever visceral responses you might be having? Mania, which is which is obsessive love. I don't think we really want to go there, maybe. It can be troublesome. Now, these last 4, one is called, I'm going to say ludus, L-U-D-U-S, and that's playful love, and it's playful love in the early stages of a relationship. We all hopefully have been there at least once or twice in our lives. I'm actually experiencing it again this last year, so people have noticed that. What can I say? Eros, which is erotic or romantic love, Eros and Cupid, we're all pretty familiar with that. Pragma, which is long-lasting love, which I think a lot of us are looking for. I know I am. We are. And Philautia, which is P-H-I-L-A-U-T-I-A. Correct the pronunciation as you will. Which is self-love and self-compassion. And we want to spend some time on self-love and self-compassion because that, from all the readings that I've been doing this last 10 days or so, Jan and I read that daily inspiration to each other every day. There's just a lot to be learned here. And one of the first ones comes from Bo Taplin. I'm not sure, I've not heard of him before, but what he says is awesome. He says, self-love is an ocean, and your heart is a vessel. make it full, and any excess shall spill over into the lives of people you know. But you must fill it first. You must fill it first. So self-love is an ocean, and your heart is a vessel. Make it full. Make it full. Ernest Holmes more simply says, if you desire friends, be friendly. If you desire love, be loving. Very straightforward. Oscar Wilde said, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. And then from Rumi we hear, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And that goes back to our self-compassion. Can we love ourselves? Can we be compassionate with ourselves to the point that we can release the love that's there already? And lastly, we can have no understanding of divine compassion unless we ourselves first exercise compassion. So, a lot of us, not the people in this room, yeah, no. Is that me or the sound system? Okay. We complain about people who aren't loving, who aren't compassionate, who aren't, coming from a place of compassion. But as we know from Science of Mind, we're each expressing out into the universe all the time. So what are we expressing out? What are we delivering, so to speak, to the rest of the world around us? Are we loving? Are we going out with a compassionate heart? Are we loving ourselves as we step into this space of being in the world? And if we can't answer that question, can you hear me at all? You can hear? Okay. All right. Tom's in the back with his thumbs up. So here we are. I think I know, I'll just talk for myself. I know I've complained about, this person or that person's not compassionate, somebody that I've seen in the news or some political activity or whatever it might be. And then I have to stop and say, well, where is my compassion? Where is my love? Am I being loving? Am I loving all the time? Can I see the love? This is the one that stopped me in my tracks. Can I see the love in these people that I don't think are loving? Because if there's love in everyone, there's something at the core of their being, and as we believe in Science of Mind that we're all divinely created and at our core is the perfection of spirit, then whomever we're looking at has that same characteristic, that same blessing, that same creation and creative activity moving within them. And to speak of that creative activity, all of Bobby's all the people taking care of Bobby are amazed at how quickly he's healing. The wounds are healing. He's starting to he's much more vibrant than they expect. The swelling went down faster. There's a lot of prayer going on, and prayer works. So he's doing really well as a result. But we're putting out the love. We're putting out that love and compassion for Bobby because we know and love Bobby. That's easy. What about the hard part? The hard part of going beyond who we are, going beyond those that we know, going beyond the friends, the family, the close community that we have here that's so loving, and moving into a space of loving everyone we see, seeing the blessing that each one is. Because if we can see the blessing in them, they can see the blessing in us. If we can be compassionate for them, they can be compassionate for us. If we're not caring, if we're not loving, then that's what we get back. One of the things that turned my world upside down, for most of my life, I've heard opposites attract. Oh, yeah, opposites attract, opposites attract. Well, that's baloney. Like attracts like. Love attracts love. Friendship attracts friendship. Flow attracts flow. You don't get the opposite of flow is no flow. And those don't attract. That's just not working. So how do we be that space? How do we go out? And that's why the question. I used to see license plates in Los Angeles that was WWJD, what would Jesus do? And then I started seeing them later on, what would love do? And what would love do? When you're in a situation, what would love do? And as you take that out into your life, from your, start with your closest associates, your family, your workmates, whatever your life looks like, your neighbors. Oh yeah, your neighbors as yourself. Do you like your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors? Do you have any inkling of who your neighbors are? Some of us, I live in a building with 240 apartments. I don't know all of my neighbors. I know the few that we're about 55% year-round residents, so I know most of those people. But the people that are coming in or renting their places out, I don't know all of them, but I do my best. So acts of kindness, we see you've probably all seen the bumper sticker about random acts of kindness and things like that. Well, what would a random act of kindness be? It'd be a demonstration of love. It would be showing a little bit of love for somebody in a situation. Maybe just giving a nice smile and a thank you to the person that filled your gelato cup or checked you out at the grocery store. Or one of the things I do is I try to see if they've got a name badge on to say, thank you, John, thank you, Mary, thank you, whatever name they are. Or when you have a server in a restaurant, call that person by name, which means, of course, you have to be listening when they walk up to your table and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'm going to be your server today. You have to remember that so you can say, thank you, whatever their name is. But how often do we not do that? And that doesn't cost us anything. That doesn't take anything away from us. It's just a way to acknowledge someone around us. So as you take your steps from this place this morning, as you get up from your chair after we're done, how is love going to express through you? Remember, all that we have comes through us. The infinite energetic of the universe is flowing into us all the time, so it's not costing us anything. It's not like we're having to go out and buy a bunch of love or something so that we can distribute it, or reach into our wallets and take anything out. All we're doing is passing on that activity that's already there. We're kind of like outlets on the wall here. They're just waiting for somebody to plug something in so that the electricity can flow. For most of it, that's kind of magical, but Spirit can be kind of magical at times too. Things happen, people come together, people are healed, people have breakthroughs and breakdowns and then rebuilds and are totally different people. It's all because at one level or another we tap into that energetic that's feeding us all the time. When I used to do prayer in the prayer ministry at Agape, I used to love to talk about the infinite perfection that was in each person seeking to express itself. And that's really what this is all about. It's the infinite perfection, the infinite love, the infinite peace, the infinite health, the infinite joy, the infinite compassion that is all ours. We just have to be open enough to allow it to flow through. The infinite abundance, this is an abundant universe. I'm reading this kind of an oddball science fiction book, and every now and then he's got one of the characters is saying something. He's been reading Ernest Holmes. One of them, yesterday the line was, one of the characters saying, so when will this get better? And the other one says, when they realize it's an infinite universe. I was like, holy moly. When will this get better? When we realize it's an infinite universe. I mean, a lot of the political stuff and the turmoil and whatever you want to call it and whatever you believe about it and whatever you like or dislike is because people believe it's not an infinite universe, that there's some sort of limited amount of stuff, and if you get it, I'm going to lose it. The love would be to say, no, take this. Oh, you need one and don't have one? Well, try this. Have a bite of this. Share this meal. Take this job. What would love do? We're here to love. We're here to be loved. We're divine, infinite centers of love all the time. I've lost total track of time. Where are we? We're good? We're good. We're good. Actually, I said, how much time do I have to Teresa the other evening? And she says, well, we have in the room we have the room until 3 o'clock on Sunday. So tell them to go out and get a sandwich and come back and hear the... I think there's something about stepping out of whatever routine we're in and sort of looking at ourselves and saying, who and what and how am I expressing? What is going on here, and how can I be that place for love to pass through? Now, even Ernest Holmes, I have a CD. I was trying to find the excerpt so I could play it this morning, and I couldn't track it down. But after he says, if you want to have friends, you need to be friendly. If you want to be loved, you need to be loving. He says, I give out as much love as I can, but I'm kind of a little lover. And what he was trying to say and explained a little bit is, it's like he's growing into the ability to give more and more love. And hey, we have we're to stop this train when you're 78. You renegotiate. We can renegotiate each day. How much more can I give? How much am I comfortable with? How much can I be that perfect expression of spirit in the world today? Now, perfection is, maybe I shouldn't have used that word, but how can we be more that expression? And that's simply the question. What would love do? What would love do? So as you step into each activity, maybe have that in the back of your mind. Thank you. Actually, when I was in Cape Coral, I always ended with prayer. So if you indulge me for a minute, let's just do that. Just take a moment, turn within, close your eyes, take a couple of cleansing breaths. And just know with me that there is one power, one presence, one infinite activity in the universe that flows and moves everywhere, all the time, effortlessly. And it moves and has its expression in, through, and has each and every being, all those individuals in this room, and all those people outside the room, people you know, and even the people we don't know. It is flowing there. It is that love. It is that perfection. It is that joy. It is that infinite life that moves and shapes every aspect of our beings. And as we move through this space as individuals, we move through with the capability of infinitely loving, of being infinitely compassionate, of being the expression of spirit in form. And as we walk in form as spirit, as we walk in form as humans in having a spiritual experience, as we have this activity of moving forward, we find that divine perfection in each and every one that we meet. And so I know as we go forth today that we are seeing with new eyes, we are learning and understanding that what we are looking for, we are looking through, and as we do that, we see that divine perfection in everything and everyone. So I'm so grateful for this moment in prayer, grateful to know this truth about each and every one here and all those that hear this as they watch the video or however they receive it, knowing that it is all good and it is all God. It is all that perfection flowing right here and right now. And with great gratitude, I release this word into the infinite law that is always consistent, simply by saying, and so it is. Love and blessings.
Shower the people you know with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you know with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you know with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you know with love. Shower the people you know with love. I have to say may well be simple, but they're true. Until you give your love, there's nothing more that we can do. Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Have your eyes really seen? You say it's very hard to leave behind the life we knew. But there's no other way. Now it's really up to you. Love is the key we must turn. Truth is the flame we must burn. Freedom, the lesson we must learn. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen? Love is the opening door. Love is what we came here for. No one could offer you more. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen? Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes really seen?
Thank you. Oh, God. Sometimes that's
You lift
expression
me
of love,
up on wings as eagles.
All right. This is our time for conscious giving. And since I was just talking about flow and movement and expressing and allowing the infinite abundance of the universe to flow through us, I don't think I have to repeat myself. And all of this goes to support this wonderful community we have. Without the support that comes through all of you, whether you're here or online or however it comes in, it's supporting this community so that we can do the wonderful things that we're doing and that we've been recognized for already, and we will be recognized for more as time goes by. So just take a moment, take your gift, your tithe, your offering. If you're giving electronically one way or another, hold that idea close. And just know as we hold it close, we're feeling that infinite flow, the flow of the universe as it moves in through and as us, as the abundance of the universe flowing forth. And as we give forth, we create the space for more to flow in. And we just become divine centers for the infinite, divine, absolute flow of the universe. So knowing that this is the blessing that each one of us here receives, I name it good and very good with great gratitude and say, and so it is.
And so it is.
And
Our beloved
I'm going to say
Rev
we're,
T.
you're going to say it? You're going to say it? Go ahead.
Our beloved Bobby and Rev T wrote an offering song that we often sing together, and we've had our way with it. And we sure hope you two are out there listening and you approve. Sing with us today. Let's have some fun. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good, pass it on. Pass it on, Frankie. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. Receive it. One more time, like you mean it now. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of life, pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive the gift of love, pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy, pass it on.
Wonderful, wonderful
Sorry,
music.
Bobby.
I'm sure he's not minding at all. So I just want to bring up a few things that we have happening. First timers, any first timers here? Not today. Okay, all right. If there is, you guys know, see greeters, always sign up for the newsletter. Only comes out once a week, jam-packed with all the wonderful stuff. If anyone has any parking issues, come and see me. Okay, we'll be taking care of it. We'll have this situation through October. The practitioner of the day is Kathleen. Meet her over there. She'll take care of lots of things. Wednesday night, we have the Spiritual Living Circle. It's either with Jim Groves or with Nicole Leeds, and that's always on Zoom. It's a free event. You can go to the newsletter or over on the table and get signed up. Friday nights, we have Reverend Diana's Heart, Mind, Spirit Recovery. All right, it is wonderful. So once again, over there, or just talk to Reverend Di and everything like that. This Friday, on August 15th, we have the grand opening of Streets of Paradise. Streets of Paradise is one of the entities we tithe to. We've been volunteering over there for the last month or two. It's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And so on the 15th, which is Friday, they're having their grand opening from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. Either Diane or myself, we can get you that little, we'll text it to you, what it's, all the little things. They have an open mic all afternoon.
Look on the Facebook page if you're on Facebook. I'll post it on there too.
Perfect, perfect. They got yoga and sound bath and kirtan and a party with kirtan with Lotus Heart. Fire spinning with Jay. I mean, lots of great things. Fabulous, fabulous. Highly, highly recommend. Stop in or stay for the whole day. On Friday, also on the 15th, we have Bangkok and the Women's Meditation. So that's our normal thing over there. Sign up. Let us know how many people so we can make reservations in Bangkok. On the table, you'll find everything that you'll need. And stay after service and, you know, all get together and have some goodies and everything. And thanks so much. And take it away, guys. I looked and it didn't say that. Okay, so I don't know. Contact me about Friday. Okay? Thanks.
So this is just about the end of our Love Boat cruise. And the last song, we've got another one that Laurel and I have been working on, and comes from a poem of hers. And it talks, at the end of the day, it's all about love. And that's what this song is. At the end of the day, when the sky turns gold and the stories of sunlight have all been told, what matters the most isn't what we chase, but the love we share in a quiet space. If your loved ones are safe and their hearts at ease, and your soul finds rest in simple peace, if you gave what you could in your own true way, my friend, that's enough at the end of the day. Let silence wrap you in its grace, bring you to a softer place. You've done enough in your own way. Now let contentment end the day. A grateful heart, a soul set free. No need to prove who you're meant to be. You've loved, you've lost, you've made your way. Spirit strong, come what may. Not every dream needs to unfold. Not every story must be told. But in each breath and step and prayer, you'll find what matters waiting there. Let silence wrap you in its grace, bring you to a softer place. You've done enough in your own way, and so it is at the end of the day. A grateful heart, a soul set free. No need to prove who you're meant to be. You've loved, you've lost, you've made your way. Your spirit strong, comes what may. Let silence wrap you in its grace, bring you to a softer place. You've done enough in your own way, and so it is at the end of the day. And so it is. Namaste all. The boat docks here. You can get off and go right out and take an excursion.